Okay, I made the inserts for that mini album that I showed you how to make. The one where you used just one piece of paper, 12 by 12, double-sided. And what I did was I used my Gypsy and I used the Nursery Rhymes cartridge. And the first thing I did was I actually got a rectangle from Plantin's school book and I hit the button so that I could change the dimensions so that it wasn't the proportions right. And what I set it for to make this square underneath the image is I set it at 2.75 width and 2 inches high. And that's how I made the square to put inside of the mini album that I showed you that we made. And then what I did was I welded the nursery rhyme images on the top. And this right here is the shadow. And I cut it all out in a dark brown. And then I cut out the images. I don't know if you can see that, but I cut out the images and I've already run them through my Extron machine. I cut those out roughly around 1.59 inches in height. And that seemed to work in terms of the size to fit inside of the album. However, whenever you do anything that is very detailed oriented, it was a nightmare for me to try to do certain papers. I did this 3 times and this is the best that I could do with what I had, and I did do a slow setting. I even used a new mat, which again was not a good idea because I couldn't even get the paper off. So anyway, just always keep in mind whenever you do anything that's really detailed oriented and you make them smaller than 2 inches. And like I said, these were mostly 1.59 inches. So anyway, this was Humpty Dumpty. This one is Little Bo Peep. And this one is Little Boy Blue. And this is Little Miss Muffet. And this is Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is Old Mother Hubbard. This is Mary Mary. And this is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And what I did with this is there's only one image and it wasn't really big enough for what I wanted to do. So I made 2 and I reversed 1. So all these images are finished because they're just a 1 layer and a shadow. And I used, like I said, a yellow. The other thing I did was I corner rounded the bottom so that they would slide into the pockets easier. So I'm going to put this all together and let you see what it looks like in the mini album. Okay, so I just added my inserts to the pockets inside of my mini album. And this is what they look like once I get them in. And what I did was I added some border, punched out border paper that I used. I used the Martha Stewart border punch. And actually it probably would have been easier to do this before I put it together, but it still worked out fine. But anyway, this is what it looks like completed with the inserts. The other thing I did is I added a ribbon to the back, and actually I stitched it with my machine. The ribbon measures 17 inches long, and this will tie around the mini album to keep it closed. The next thing I'm going to do is make a cover, and I will be finished with putting this mini album together. Once you get your inserts made, I went ahead and made like a little page that goes on top of the insert, and I cut a piece of yellow, and it's 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then what I do is I fold that in half like this. And then what I did was I corner rounded the bottom 2 corners only. And then I attached it to the insert. And then the other thing that I did was using the Gypsy and the Gypsy Wanderings, there is a die cut that looks like a stamp. And I cut out 3 for each insert. And I had to change the proportions. And what I did is I unlinked the proportions in the Gypsy, and I made them so that they were 1.5 inches square. And I cut out enough for each one of the inserts. And when you do that and you put it all together, it looks like this. And it just opens up like a little page, like a little book. And then that will fit inside the pockets for the mini album. The other thing that I did, using the nursery rhyme cartridge, is I went ahead and for each pocket, I am doing a year for my grandkids, for my daughter, and I have 3 grandkids, and so that's why there's three squares for each one of those pages. I made a page for 3. So anyway, the first pocket, it's newborns, and so what I'm going to do is have newborn pictures of each one of the kids, and then each pocket will increase to the next year. So I have 1 year, 2 years, and then 3 years, 4 years, and so on until I have 7 years. And then I also made the cover, and again I used the nursery rhymes, and I also used Simply Charm, and that's where the through the year came from, was Simply Charm. And I made this, it's a ring around the mulberry bush, I believe, in the nursery rhyme, and I made it a little bit bigger than the other ones that are inside. It's about 4 inches in width, just so that it will cover up the front cover. And my mini album is finished. I also wanted to show you the mini album can actually stand up, so you can actually put it on your mantle or any place you want to, and I just wanted you to see how it looked like this.